initiation, master ceremony.
Yeah.
Master.
Yeah.
And
What?
we have to go to the host.
The host of the.
The host.
So, welcome at the live stream of the Dutch workshop. Skills Lab it's called. Skills refers to the fact that you have to work on your skills and not on your maximum today. And what that means that you're gonna experiment with the tools I gave you. And last time we did another session with Net, but today from the link how to lift and secure the list and that part. But today we're going to do a completely different thing. Because a few years ago I made this poster related to all the places you can recognize in lifting. If you make it simple, then there are only three places. Lifting the bar, getting kind of air space related that the bar is flying in the air, you go under, and then you catch it, so you carry it below. So if you do it very simple, lifting, air face, I record. Yeah, and you call from that, carry along. So these days are the main principles where you come in. So what you want to analyze, because today we're going to analyze each other's lists. We learn the instrument and make it background. Basically, it can also be used as a competition method. So it's on our website, dutchtrends.com. You can find all that on the free info, and this information is available in the program. And so today, we have this form, where you can write down your name, and when we finish with the lifting analysis, we're gonna go for with two questions. We're gonna start by examining the list from one another. So by learning this, you become a better able to learn movements and reflect on the movements. You're going to see some remarks, and you're going to integrate the whole lifting first. So it makes you better and maybe also like, body. So when you help others and you want to start so today's workshop is not about me telling you how to lift. First part, the second part is that you need to know this, and the other part marking techniques. And again, the speed of weight can be sometimes use the camera, and then you can look back at certain parts of the lift. So the lifting part is from the setup, facing the knee, then transitioning with the backward face or the front face that goes back. Then from this knee squat position, you're going to have the second pull, and you're going to have a pull under, a horizontal pull, and a turn. And that's air face. And under is already an air face because you pull yourself under. Sometimes I call it under there for weightlifting. But it seems to be like something like gymnastics. If you have really big weights, we use it as a flying bar. And you can work around that bar if you have enough momentum. For us, mostly we just pull under and we try to not disturb the bar or bar. When you catch, you first learn here to catch with straight arms, and then work your way through to get the energy that's going down. And then you recover from that and then straight after position. So each position, each phase, I mark and also add this technique flow. So that's why maybe you need I maybe need to do it slow motion wise. But for me, as a really more experienced athlete and training coach, I can mark it immediately. How? Because I only mark the positions that are wrong.
Yeah.
And the other parts I skip. The Bugatti is like, okay, excellent, I'm only a minute. So I just kind of slow motion that sort of replay in my head that I need to focus. Now, if you look at the system, why is this also meant for competitions? Because you can have a score, and the total score, summation of the scores is 0 to 1. One is like excellent, 1 to 5. Half is like, you managed, but it has to be improved. And 0 is like disaster. Like a turtle set up, and then bike race, and then throwing the bar in front, and catching it here, and then squeezing the cell out, and going. So that will be 0 points for me. -1. But this is the thing. So 0 points, but we managed to get the bar that you recover from it. Also, okay. Yes. So you have a half one. You see 3 lifts, 3 attempts. And so you have a total score. If you lift correctly, with 8 points or higher, you have to bring another load up. If your technique is good, you can bring a little bit more load. And I use this system to further perfect advanced athletes at 85% to 90% of competition levels. So it can be used for beginners, but it can also be used for advanced lifters to really focus on certain parts.
Consistency.
Yes, the consistency is the use. So this is what you will learn today. But first, we're going to address all the positioning and alignment and the setups and the comments on the sheet. So again, it's a free publication on the internet. This one is an Excel sheet. The only thing I discovered that the poster, you have to maybe zoom out because at some programs it doesn't work immediately as a full page like I did. Okay. But if you click on it, you immediately have the whole poster, so that's also a good thing. Then you have to really focus on this part. So the other one will be next week. I'll make the same kind of program. Then we're gonna dissipate between the clean and the jerk because these are, I think, these are 2 exercises. If you do it correctly, it's 2 parts combined to a whole combination of things. Now this one is next week, so we don't do that today. Alright? Yeah. Are you already warmed up, or do you think we can warm up during the movements? Yeah. Like prepping with the setup? Yeah. Then I'm gonna rephrase I'm gonna get my glasses because I already said it. On the computer screen, it always looks like it's big. In reality, it's small print. So maybe you have to print on A1. Like this one. Alright, just prep yourself. Bring the bar.
To Brian for training, therefore competition much better. Your turn. You hide behind the board. What do you have down there?
Okay. This one.
Last time you didn't bring your gloves.
I know.
So first things first, put on your weightlifting shoes. So Alexander is already doing that. Martin is also preparing his tendons a little bit, muscles. Ivan is just taking a lot of magnesium.
Oh, before the shot. Yeah. That's powerlifting stuff.
So, if you look at the weightlifting movement, the first thing we want to emphasize is setup. So there are a few directions to the setup. First of all, when you set up, you need to bring the chest up. That's one of the remarks. The second part is about getting the shoulders in the right position, and the mid of the shoulder is in front of the bar. So it's very easy to do. So it's halfway your shin, approximately at the level of the bar that is lifted from the floor, so approximately 22.5 centimeters. And I'm just going to see if I see the right posture. Lower, 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 a little bit lower, there you go. Now butt a little bit higher and more over the bar, there you go. Chest up, there you go. Now the shoulders is in front of your wrists, and you feel a good, nice tension here. All right, so this is good. Martin, a little bit more shoulders, there and together. Yeah, there you go. See? Yeah, the front of the bar is okay, but your shoulder position could be improved.
Okay.
And for Alexander, also the shoulder position is a little bit hanging. So try to bring it more chest and shoulder back. Yeah, now forward, and there you go. Now it's stiff. And there are other coaches that want to see loose arms. Most of the time, if you pull a loose arm with big weight, you can risk a rupture of your rotator cuff. So that's why I don't want to emphasize that position that much. Right? So this was the first one. I'm going to rephrase it. If you look at it, chest up and open. Shoulders over the bar. A solid pre-tense and extended back. Head neutral or slightly up. Slightly up, yeah. Not like this. All right? So, what do you think you get?
Go.
1 point?
Go.
Yes? Is it a 1 point or a little bit less?
A little bit less.
All right, I'm sorry for that.
It's huge.
But it's not like plus minus. It's like, yeah, so it's 8 or 9.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah.
And also are behind.
Yeah, so it's not completely in front of the bar. Yeah, that's good. That's what I saw also. So by emphasizing this, you can immediately coach. You can coach each other, and you can even coach yourself. If you bring the wrist with you, and you feel that you don't coach. The only thing that is disturbing the training member is like, if you do this correctly, it will cost time.
Yes.
And so the rhythm of the training is gone. But you need to emphasize this as a technique training. So don't emphasize it as a real effortful training, but take a separate block to work on your technique of snatch. And then you take like 3/4 of an hour to 1 hour, maybe maxing out at 70, 75, 80% with only 1 rep, and you videotape yourself, and that's it.
Analyze.
Yeah, analyze, you try to make a second lift with an improvement in the part that you saw that was not okay. So it's it's more a didactical instrument. It's more meant as a helpful tool to improve your lifting skills. So, okay, now to emphasize the first pull, and Ivan is already correcting it, so he has a nice stable back. If you look at this angulation, it's like approximately 25 till 30 degrees. For him, it's like 20 degrees. It's okay. It's dependent on everybody. So if he goes up to his knees, it needs to stay the same. You can already see that he is already starting the first pull with bringing the back too soon. So let's do it again. So this first pull is a parallelogram. If I design a line up, you can see a parallelogram. Go up. This is good. Now, the second thing I can tell you, you're still feeling the pressure on the foot.
Yeah.
If you push the knees back, you're going to feel that the pressure is on your heels. So you can see I'm still doing a parallelogram, but my knees are more pulled back. All right? So we saw you. You're being broadcasted also. Stealing a bar here. It's okay, it's okay. Just Friday night, please. Okay. All right. Let's do the first move, Alexander, and let's just observe. And if you do the whole lift, it's more difficult to observe it, but it's okay. You learn by just trying to see what happens. So stand up. There you go. Shoulders good, leg tight, chest open, head slightly. There you go. There you go. So these you do that, and there was a good parallelogram. So, all right. Yeah.
Ready. Very good.
1 point.
1 point.
So set up 1 point.
Perfect.
First pull 1 point. All right. Martin, show us. All right. What's happening here? Look at this setup. Are the shoulders in front of the bar?
Now, yes.
Now it is.
Now it is.
And then, he tends to do a more Chinese approach of lifting because that's another style, another school that emphasizes opening the knees.
Yeah.
So you're more aligned with the bar. And then at this level, you see that it's over the bar.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good for people that have very long legs.
No, my case.
This is, very long legs. No, it's very difficult to have this position, the accessory setup. So sometimes they start here, and then they're going to go there. So that's an exception of the rule. Today, we're just going to give him a figure, a number, between 0 and 1. Let's do it again. 0.75 for 8.
For 8.
Because we needed to instruct you again.
Yeah. Always on the line.
But other coaches, can have this like, it's okay. That's depending on what you want to emphasize. I emphasize a strong posterior chain setup. If you are standing here already, you have less tension.
Yeah.
So by bringing the bar in front, so the shoulders in front, you have a good build-up tension here, and you use that tension during the lift. So that's why I prefer this, and it's more a Russian approach.
Yeah, I know.
It's good. So if you recognize the differences in styles, so okay, Russian approach for Ivan. Let's see what he's doing.
Russian
Set up.
and small.
And there we go. First pull. Build the knees. I think, yes, trouble feeling the knees.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you need to feel is like you pull your knees backward. Instead of pressing the knees, you kind of pull it with the calves. You see? And that's a Chinese approach. So the back is Russian,
Yeah, I
but
know.
the knee pulling is Chinese.
Yeah, I know.
So this is a real Dutch thing, eh? Because we always try to find the best of everything and compromise and integrate.
Russia moved behind you to use the posterior chain.
Yeah.
More. And Chinese is like keeping it alive.
Yeah, and then pulling also through the calf muscles instead of more from the back side. Russian approach is completely different.
Yeah.
More back approach. All right. Now, so you understand now about giving a number.
Yeah.
So we have done it for the setup, we have done it for the first school. The next part, and you can understand, if you look at the paper, some parts are 1, 2, 3 points, but in the of lifting, it's like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So some phases, I think they are less important. So the lifting part, I really emphasize it as the most important part, weightlifting, because after lifting, you can learn the acrobatic air phase, and you can learn how to properly set up here into overhead squat. So that's it. Recovery is an overhead squat and push up. So it's not nothing else than an overhead squat. So if you can correctly overhead squat, then you only need to make sure that you catch the bar in the overhead squat position. And then you can become a little bit
Freaky.
yeah, shaky. Yeah,
And it's
that's what
slightly dangerous.
I think I need some sports thing.
Yeah. Last thing for
Yeah. All right. Maybe. So the first move is done. Now the knee passage. Let's see. There is a separate knee passage position. Why do I emphasize it? And if you go for lifting, the Americans approach like up and go. So there's only 2 parts. Like first pull, second. And I emphasize that the speed of the bar that you reach in the knee passage, 1 is continuous. So it doesn't stop. So we're going to try to bring the bar at a certain speed. Then we're going to transition to the pockets of your back. This is a traditional style. If you do it like for a beginner, it means you touch the device. That's easier to learn than when you bring it back. So it's easier to learn this from touch and go than to learn it from a free movement and then you're trying to hit it somewhere. So probably this is safer also.
Okay. Probably.
So we're going to do the first part, setup. Then we're going to do the first pull and then keep the speed in the transition. And stop at your pocket of your pants. Around. And it depends on how deep the pockets are. But after the pocket is not deep anymore. 1, keep the speed. 1. Go after that is the rest. So let's see. I'm going to see. Let's see if the speed of the bar is like continuous. Knee passage. 1, 2. You recognize that the speed that comes is still there.
Yeah.
So the knee passage was okay. Positioning, alignment, go on. And then you can feel that the speed needs to be continued, and then after that you can accelerate again. So by doing this double knee bend technique, it's called the double knee bend technique. 1 extension, and then pull your back, bend. So this is the double knee bend, and then extend again. So that's why it's referred as double knee bend. And this is a little bit traditional because some people emphasize just lifting and going, even no feet. And I think Gatsu showed us this week muscle snatch, no feet with 200 kilos. All right, so you don't need maybe a double knee bend technique if you're the world champion. So some people think it's difficult, but it's just a matter of pulling and then let the knees flow and go, and then after that, the next one. So let's see the numbers you will give to the other person related to the knee passage and the transition phase. All right? Alexander first. All right, guys. Sharp eyes. Put your falcon eyes on. No pressure, Alexandra, but it's all onto your leg. Wow, nice. Good speed, and great speed. And a good posture, parallel face was okay, still set up, and etc.
Yeah.
So you see the knee massage was at the good speed, and the transition was consistent, and after that, he was already ready to lift.
Yeah.
So, let's see here in the knee massage, bar speeds to be continuous, shins kind of vertical. That was okay. And then back pull, keeping the bar speed and try to be close to the body, maybe even touching the upper part. And jump to extension, 2. And after that, hit short of cap inflection. Because this is a position where you can still transition energy from the floor up. And if some lifters do this with a deadlift technique, and so it blocks here, and then you can push
power.
like hell, but it will not give any transition of energy from the floor. So this is why it's for beginners, easy to learn. You just scrape your thighs, because then you're already here without pushing. If you do it like this, probably you just do the whole technique again. So if you can scrape the thighs, and after that you can transition. Good. Martin? And in a mini squat, eh? That's good. Oh, this was not good. It was again -1. From, just open. Yeah, but you can see it's a little bit. Yeah, this is already better. It was a little bit in a hurry. 1, 2. And it's like the knee massage is a little bit almost like. Yeah, yeah. So Martin, maybe try to do like this. Go, go, boom. So go, go. It's not like the tempo needs to be 1 go. It's already too fast, eh? 1 go. That's better. Feel it?
Yeah.
Neck.
1 go. Yes. And you can see that his tempo needed to be adjusted by making a more continuous flow. And that will bring more energy in the bar than 1, 2. Yeah, it's like hitting something.
Hey, you do a pause.
Yeah. And then you just hit something that has inertia, it's resistance to movement. So you need to push through.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do. Okay. There you go, Ivan. So, is the extension good now? Yeah, lower back. 1, 2. Try to scrape your thighs. 1. You have to pull the knees back.
Yeah.
You felt that you. This is what happens, Seth, and he did it correct. His weight distribution was back, but he hit knees. 1, 2. It's better already. More, even more.
He has long legs.
Almost long legs. Almost like on the heels and the toes a little bit off the floor. 1, 2.
That's really long legs.
Yeah. And what you can see, that his first pull,
Yeah.
extending the hip, but the
And
shoulders
then-
are not coming
Okay.
and over the bar. So you extend your hips, and then you need to be backward with your shoulders, and that's why you hit your knee.
Yeah, okay.
So the mistake is done in the first pull.
Yeah.
And you can see that if you don't do the correct first pull,
Everything.
then everything after that is also like
Wobbling.
Everything is shift.
everything shifts. And so you learn the wrong movement after that.
Yeah.
Because you are in the wrong positions, you use the wrong muscles to engage at the wrong time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the first pull is very important. Try to do the same again with the shoulders in front of the bar.
In this case, with the long legs, what's the advice? Moving
Yeah.
more the
Or
knees.
a little bit like you did, with a little bit knees out,
Knees out.
and then
Yeah, because there is more space.
more space.
But for me, it was also hard to
feeling that we can what it means to push more.
Because you need to pull from the car.
Narrow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Knees out.
But for me, it was
There you go.
hard to-
Now, first back extension, just open.
Yeah.
Over the bar.
Yeah.
Keep that. Raise and now go. There you go.
That's better.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's better.
And now you can see we found a solution for you. A little bit opening of the knee, but because you can discriminate in the shape, you can easily adapt. At that point, that's really reverse adapting.
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on the lift after the knee,
Yeah, it's
where the mistakes is shown,
Yeah.
you have to realize, get back to the sheet and see if the first pull was right.
Yeah.
And then add a little bit of the feet positioning, maybe a little bit more, and keeping it. That's the rule set. So the first pull is like
yeah.
very important.
Yeah. It's a base.
And it's basically lots of people make mistakes with it. So now you're a part of the Dutch strength weightlifting school,
Now you're excited.
and you will get -1. That means that at some point you have to buy us Dutch beer.
That's weird.
If you have -100 points, it's 1 beer or something like that. It's okay. How many lifts do you do in a training? Like 30 lifts in a minute?
Or something like that.
Yeah. So after 3 trainings, we can already expect beer. That's good. All right. Now let's see what happens after that. So
And go
then we
under
do
the bar.
after the back wall phase, the third phase. Back wall phase is the third phase. So you have only 3 points at the moment. Yeah, that's it. And after that, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 points total. And you get 3 extra points for being disciplined,
For being on time.
being on time, and
Using your bar
being
properly.
able to work with criticism.
Yeah, okay, good.
Don't get aggressive to the No! Oh, I said the adverb. Sorry for that. All right, after this transition phase, we're in the power stance. This is called the power stance because it's also important in other sports. The difference with weightlifting and other sports is when you do basketball or soccer, you want to stand in the front of the net and you want to push further away there. But in weightlifting, if you push there, you're going to lift the bar in front. So that's why it's not completely the same. If you are a very powerful weightlifter, but sometimes you're not speedy in that sport.
Yeah.
Because you need to understand about the difference in pushing from the front of the foot. That's why I do as a training coach, strength and conditioning specialist. I emphasize that it's a very powerful movement, but I need to address the momentum in sports.
Yeah.
So that's why we do a lot of speed, agility, quickness drills related to sports also. And weightlifters don't need that kind of stuff. And
So we stay on our heels all the time?
yes. This is the thing.
You need to keep balance with
And
the
very, very often,
If you stand here, so jumping requires, an upward jump requires completely this. Sometimes people tell you to jump, but when you jump, you're in the air.
Yeah.
And there is nothing under the air which blocks you. So I think when you look at the first law of Newton, the second one, I don't remember anymore. It's about force is equals to minus the reaction force. So if you are able to get 4, then it gives immediately a response that you can push back, and then you can immediately get the momentum that extends your back more. So if you are not too long in the air, but simply doing this and then blocking it, you get a good response from the form, and that helps you to extend. So the catching part will be improved, because then when you block, they're already more tense. So the reaction force can be used in a good catching phase. That's also what other coaches don't always tell you to do. Sometimes they really want to see jumping thing for away, and because of Targaxa now I can tell you it's not that necessary to be in a long air phase. It's more necessary to push the bar from here on the heels until you feel that you cannot hold it anymore. And then you just scoop the feet. That's also more Chinese technique.
Yeah.
Because the Russians stay fixed all the time and shoulders back. But the difference here is like we use some parts of other technique schools. Here we go. As long as possible, transition to your heels, and then flip. And that's what you need to learn. Wait until it needs to go. Then the bar is already backward. So the bar path is backward driven. One, backward. Most of the fields that don't do that have a very wide positioning of the bar and have difficulty with controlling it overhead. So if you do this correct, 1, 2, follow the bar. 1, 2, and follow the bar. You can hear ba boom. You hear the noise of the wheels. It's easy soft.
Yeah.
Right, try this, and then we're gonna again mark each other. So power phase is the end of the transition. So it's already the end of the transition. You're already almost straight here in the pockets.
From here?
Yeah, from there, stand with upright chest, open chest. You're gonna go to the heels, extend, go. Feel? There is a kind of earth that you wanna push. There you go. Good. Try to feel that if you are on your heels, that you don't need your head that much, you need your chest. More chest. Head back. Head align. Yeah, there you go. Good? Yeah. Head align and backward. Good. Don't drive the hip too far. Okay. It's just a matter of pulling the back. There you go. Good. All right. Let's see this phase.
There's no miss.
It's called a second pull, and it's almost like a pull under, yeah? Yeah. And during this transition phase, if you did it correct, it's only worth 1 point. And it's, most people think it's the most difficult part, but if you are patient enough, you will explode with it. And if you are in a hurry, you need to finish here, 1, and then you can see how I immediately shift the arms from up until it's not possible to do it anymore, and I go back. So I'm always already half in my turn. After that, in this half turn, you can slow down. And that's how you create momentum. Your body is back from the bar path. You can easily catch it. Right? Let's do a high catch, a power snatch kind of thing, but from the momentum of the hip. So it's a high hang, power snatch. Good. Still a little bit driving forward, so you need to keep your back away from the bar. That's better. You felt that it transitions backwards Now we can work on certain parts of the lifting related to this sequence. So the sequence is like hip, high pull, or pull under more or less. And then you can see what are you doing if you do an overhead squat. Are you ever inching your hips or not? I don't think so. Right? So the thing is that in the beginning, in the snatch, when you catch it, you really need to think about aligning in an overhead squat, and not in a deep squat. So you need to get vertical placement of the bar. See, and that's the overhead squat. So your catch should be emphasizing on towards the bar, but the catch should be like a line here. Catch is like in line with my ear. When you go deeper, the bar will travel a little bit backward compared to my tongue. See, so you don't need to do that when you catch. Hang power snatch is about catching. So if you're aligned with the ears, it's good. Because after that, it will go backward if you go deeper. So try to make this hang power snatch in a way that you catch an overhead squat. Right, let's see if we can mark a 1 again. Or if this is a little bit difficult, so maybe we need to have more time spent. There you go. Yeah, you jump a little bit forward because you're not used to really hanging on. There you go. Good. Yeah. You just hang on the bar, stay back from the bar. Yeah. Stay back from the bar. Right. Try to keep the bar as close as possible, and then turn. Okay. So don't use it just yet. Or you can add a little bit more out. When you push, yeah, start maybe a little bit wider. Yeah. Wider, yes. Start maybe a little bit like this. And then boom. You can step closer to the bar. A little closer. Alright. 1, align, go. That's already better. Good. You tend to go forward. And you catch. That's because it's hip drift. So you can make it more knee drift. Catch for the knees. Nice.
Are we more natural?
Knees. There you go. Better. Good. Don't emphasize hip flexion. Emphasize knee flexion. Think about it. Right. So we can mark the scores of everybody for this part.
0.
And then now we're going to just adjust, because when we do this correctly, and we have learned it earlier in other workshops, that if we emphasize the lifting part, we just need to go down earlier. 1, boom. And then you can see how I transition with a very narrow spacing between catch and rack position.
Yeah.
That's just because I don't lift the bar that high. I just follow until I'm there where I need to be. Still, the arms are first, and then the knees block it. So you can see the sequence. 1, arms and legs and neck. So it's a difference between catch and rack. For very advanced lifters, we narrow this catch and rack until it's 0.
Okay.
But if you do that and you have a little bit too much depth, then of course you understand the danger for the back and the knees. And for advanced lifters, professional lifters, they don't care that much for their career after lifting.
It's about lifting.
Yeah, so I like to see in a proper catch and racket. Like it's a little bit timed after the catch, bit of energy damping in the system. It makes it possible to control the recovery. So we're going to try to make the lifting a little bit less high, earlier down in the knees. See? Earlier down, and you see that I still have the tendency to go a little bit further, maybe this part. That will damp the energy of the bar falling down.
Yeah.
You need some powerful strength-based energy damper.
Yeah.
So the legs are used as energy dampers.
Yeah.
And that's how you can use it.
That's why you need a little bit of space.
Yeah, because otherwise it damps in your joints.
Yeah, exactly.
In your knees, joints.
Some people
And
go
joints.
super deep and
And
receive
you can
just
see-
at the bottom and no more
And they
space.
cannot recover from
Yeah.
that. And you can
And
also see how the knees are buckled.
Yeah,
in.
exactly. Because they
The
don't.
ankles are like, and catching, or the back is just bouncing backwards, or like, let's try to go
Go
up
super
again.
low, no more space.
Yeah, yeah, and it sometimes, if you look at their willpower, excellent. If you look at their thinking process in long term, 0 points.
Yeah.
Because they don't think about the long term approach that much.
All the
They wanna
energy
just
goes
have
to the
this-
joints and the back.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I learned this rack and catch position in a little bit of time. Right, try this.
I remember my coach in Argentina used to say, your snatch should be like a power snatch and you fail the power snatch. You need that.
Little, that more.
Yeah.
That's a good sentence. Yeah, that's a good reminder.
I mean, always like parallel, but you fail, so you need
Yeah,
this one.
you need a little bit more.
Because I had one friend who was always at the bottom with no space.
And then you are like not recovering.
No.
Yeah. So that's high. Get more. That's high. So start, then you earlier. Start, then you knees earlier. Good. One. Right, keep your weight on the heels when you catch Alexander. So, heels, there you go. Feel the difference. So it's more like I'm not that far forward when you have to weight in front of your feet. You tend to go and then you need to bring your butt back. Yeah, because of balance. Yeah. If your weight is on the heels, you can really use your knees and your more vertical alignment. There you go. Good. Needs to be, when you catch on the heels and then you rack the weight, it's more in the whole thing. That's why you feel if you go further down. Yeah. Almost. Backward. Action go. Loose the arm. Bring the weight up from here and go. Up and go. There, feel? So you try to lift the weight through the arm. Skip the arm.
Yeah.
Your legs and back
Move your face.
are far more strong.
Look at your face.
To my face.
All right? Yeah, at some point you will hit your chin. It has been, some of this.
That's how I fail a lot of times. When I
Yeah.
listen and I don't want to
So you
go
don't
up.
go much, but you do.
Because I'm like
You
this.
need to go
Yeah,
there.
but you need
Oh, okay.
they have to extend it. Remember,
Yeah.
you need your place.
It's,
So you don't
sometimes
understand it.
when you're in the T-Rex position, but with an angry face.
Oh, yeah.
Ah. More defense. All right. Let's now try to do the whole lift. And we're gonna first look at Alexandra, then Martin, and then
Me.
Ivan. All right. And then we can experiment further, but we'll go any control after this. You can do 3 consecutive lifts. 1, 2, 3. So that's what normally I use.
Yeah.
That's why we do 3 consecutive lifts. And maybe more.
That's broke.
I think the second one is
First one, she stopped. She
how many
stopped.
points does he earn?
It's 70 total, right?
That's 7. A score of 21 points.
That's different.
7 is in total, so let's say 5.
5.5.
Yeah, I think six.
Five.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah. I think 6. Yeah. I think 6.
This is not a demographic
No.
process, so because the first and the last one was a less, but the
Yeah,
one
but
was higher.
yeah, you know what? Yeah.
Let's go for Martin. Also 3 consecutive. Alright, let's take a look, and you can recognize that from the side, you can really look how the knees transition, you can see the bar traveling on the knees. A little bit, the transition phase can be a little bit slower, Martin. So try to get the right tension. There you go. See what happens when you get the same speed in the transition and after that one transition. Good.
Good.
Yeah. 6. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
6.
Yeah. But now about the
third one was better.
yeah, the second and the third one were best, were good. But I still think that I still hear a lot of noise because your feet work is a little bit too high. You can diminish the feet a little bit more. You go here, 1, and immediately go.
Yeah.
Do this like a little bit.
Okay.
It costs time.
Yeah.
That delays and that gives a more impact-based catch. Did you try it?
Yeah.
No feet.
Almost no feet for you. Like feeling really on the heels, go.
It's quickly.
Yeah. 1, 2, go. Almost no feet. Even better technique.
I used to do no feet.
Yeah, I understand why. Because there is the air phase is often doing control. Let's call it control.
Okay.
Stability also, but means that if you and of course you can push the feet
Yeah.
in the end, but you don't need to jump that much. Some people even have the feet in position already, and they just stand on the same spot, and they don't jump out. But that's also difficult to get to control it. Ivan.
I used to do it.
Ivan is good.
I used to do no feet for being patient.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah. And that was the solution.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. First. Thing first. A little bit more open knees. Over the bar. Keep it over the bar. When you go first, pull go and catch. See? Yeah. If you control the first pull,
Ivan.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Yes. Nice.
One more, 3 more.
Yes. Keep your arms a little bit loose. So lift the arms. Let the arm follow the bar. 1, go, boom. Good. Excellent. All right.
Numbers.
Yes, that's good.
6, 7, 6.
You want that? He needs to score. All right, 6.
Good.
So, because we have all 6 or 7. That's an excellent score, I think. But you already learned a lot before that. So this kind of technical forms are not for beginners. You need already to understand all the services, learn. Then to further improve your technique, you can use these forms. To further improve your technique with higher roles, then maybe you need the bar to and that will be organized in April, I think. First, we're gonna, so we adapted. First skills lab was about learning technique.
Yeah.
Second skills lab now is about maybe improving technique. And the third skills lab will be like improving technique with resistance. Understand the rhythm? And I think if we manage to get all three done, then you can understand about the coaching principles of our weightlifting school. And you probably can integrate it in your training sessions a little bit.
How many times is recommended, like full technical? Because it's super demanding mentally, it's not physical, but mental.
Depends. If you're a very skilled athlete, you only need one time a week very technical.
Okay.
With higher loads.
Yeah.
And the other sessions can be like power snatch oriented, strength based oriented, because your system already knows some techniques. But if you're not a fast giver, you need
More technical than volume.
work. So you need maybe twice a week at least technical exercise. In my competition program, there will be times a week. There is 3 times a week technical lifting.
Yeah.
So it's no escape.
Yeah.
You need to learn.
Because you're improving at mass.
At the competition technique. So that's the full weightlifting technique. So in the competition program of 6 weeks, you always
Consistency with high loads.
yeah. And not like maybe other trainers do like 2 sessions a day, because I think for most people that have jobs or study, it's 3 times a week a very heavy, good weightlifting session is enough. And that will be okay. And if people want to have more training programming or 4, 5, 6, 7 times, it's all there in the locker, over there in my archives. So we can make this program, but most of the people are not professional weightlifters. They don't earn money with weightlifting. So how can you do 8 sessions a week without earning money in our world? And so then you need to be like a national team athlete or something like that, or maybe you work or you're the owner of a big company which.
Yeah, you don't need to work. You don't need to work.
You are owner of a year.
All right. Thank you, audience, and till next time.